my name is Ivory, and thank you so much for watching Astral Ivory. Today, we are going to be talking about conspiracy theories and have a really special guest for you guys. Her name is amberamrhein, and she is an amazing medium, and she will be translating for my spiritual guide, Curtis, who will be giving his 2 cents from the other side and also answering some of my crazy questions. And if you want to get in touch with Amber, I'm going to go ahead and put her information at the end of the video and also in the description box below. So, all right. Amber, Curtis, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Curtis, do you have any words to say before we get started?
He's just saying not to, everybody has their own, he's getting serious. He wants to say that everybody, has their own interpretations of things. So just because one person says one thing and another, there's a lot of mediums that will say various things. It's just a different understanding. It's a different point of view. So it's a different outlook on the same situation, just kind of like standing at a different point. That's all I'm getting.
You're not going to call us like dogs or anything for like following the government? Nothing sassy coming out.
He's just saying, he's being very kind today. I'm not sure why, but he's feeling good. No, he's just basically saying, unfortunately humans are a bit close-minded, and he wants to help, I feel like because he's aware that people will be listening, he's trying to be very professional. And
you don't have to be professional. I just had to let my dog out right now because he was barking. This is not professional at all. But thank you. But you could go ahead and be yourself. It's all good. This isn't a professional show. So
I feel like I even see him with his hair all gelled. He has a little button-up shirt on.
What? No, Curtis, I like the crazy Albert Einstein hair. I appreciate the effort, though. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and thank you, and maybe next time we'll see more of your crazy side.
I think he's saying if you want his crazy side, you need to ask crazier questions. Because if the questions are serious, he's gonna act seriously.
Ooh, he just right back at me. Okay. Okay, I'll do that then. I'll get crazier questions for you. Watch out. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Did Nikola Tesla originally discover an alien aircraft called the Black Knight hovering over Earth? And if so, why is it there?
He did discover the aircraft. However, that is not the name of the aircraft. That is not the aircraft. He discovered one, but there's a misunderstanding. This aircraft is there. It's kind of more of it's like a patrol kind of thing. So it's just basically just to keep tabs on everything. That's really the main purpose of it. It's just the observation purposes.
Oh, okay. And I'm sorry. What race of aliens placed it over our planet, and are they benevolent beings? Do they have any ill intentions toward us, or do they just want to watch over us?
The ones that placed the spacecraft there?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just very, it's just for patrol. I feel like they are, just in general, they kind of work throughout, space, is just kind of patrolling everything. So they'll jump around a lot just to make sure everything's good. They don't have any ill wishes because they just basically want everything to kind of run smoothly. They're also kind of there to view progressions, whether it be spiritual or technological, just different kind of advances in different communities or collective, So it's just saying how everything's kind of building. I feel like there's definitely something that they're working towards, every collective and every, even us, there's a hidden goal behind everything, to kind of reach a certain potential. It's just kind of they're just observing it, making sure everything's kind of going smoothly and interfering if they need to, if something is, going badly or is going to get a little bit more, I don't know, if something's created that's detrimental to everybody. So
So like maybe like a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, exactly. So then they would come in and stop that.
Have they interfered before?
Yeah.
Can they give an example of what they interfered with?
It was like, it's classified. they're very secretive. It's kind of like talking to like a government agent, you know. They're just very serious. No. So it's all it's
hush hush.
There are things that are greater than us that we don't really need to know. It's basically saying like we have no business worrying about it. So just move on.
Just curious, that's all. All right. Okay. So we'll move on. How and why were the dinosaurs killed? Was it done by nature, a giant asteroid, or was it possibly an alien extermination? I'm sorry I'm making you work while you're sick, Amber.
Oh no, it's okay. It was just basically like there was a shift that needed to occur, and that's what needed to happen. It was just kind of like written in history, everything known is just a process that needed to happen. The dinosaurs were aware of it. It wasn't something that, you know, they all felt it. They were all aware of it. They all willingly gave themselves up to it. Well, for the most part, there was fear. It wasn't like this is a peaceful, beautiful thing. There was fear, but they understood. I feel like it was definitely an asteroid. However, there was help. I'm actually seeing this really beautiful moment where there's like a lot of different collectives, you know, kind of like carrying this asteroid through so that it's able to like properly, you know. Yeah. It's like a specific target that it needs to hit, and it's just like they were sending their regards to the dinosaurs. You know, it's just a very like beautiful, like kind of like spiritual, just kind of connection through everything.
Yeah.
To just start like a new life form and to like get things going, you know, it was just a moment that needed to happen.
Yeah.
It was already kind of happening, and there were extraterrestrial beings that just kind of helped it, you know, better.
Help that process go along. Gotcha. So, on a spiritual level, were the dinosaurs killed so humans and other earthly life forms could exist and thrive?
Yes. I feel like there was actually they were basically like guarding something. So the reason they were so big and a lot of them so ferocious was just to basically kind of protect the land from anything coming to like ruin it. You know, it's like they were cultivating this specific atmosphere to be used later on. They were kind of like Earth. They were like Earth angels in a sense. You know, they were there to protect Earth.
So they were made very large for a reason.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And I was going to ask the next question, but that had actually answered it. And so for those that don't know exactly what I mean by the term spiritual contract, it's a pre-life contract that your soul and your soul family have agreed to be a part of to be able to go through experiences and help evolve and expand the soul. So this isn't a contract that's set in stone. We all have free will, and we can always change that contract. Right? Can Curtis expand on that?
He's basically saying, you know, you hit all the key points. There are some contracts that are, he's saying that you made it sound a little easier than it is. There are some contracts that are a little bit more difficult to break. They were all basically set there for a reason. If for whatever reason, you know, you really have decided that that's not the path you want and you really want to change it, it is absolutely possible. However, it's important to know that it was made for a reason and you did
sign up for that.
Quote unquote, you know, for.
Well, what happens behind the scenes when somebody wants to change the contract? What do all of your guides and angels do when something's going to be changed?
it's more of an energetic shift. It's kind of like it's just an overall shift. So it'll obviously affect you. Just like when there's like I don't know, shifts happen all the time, you know, and it's basically like an emotional change, spiritual change. Just a lot of things kind of clicking in a little bit differently than they did before. So it's the same exact idea. If you want to, you know, break away from contract, it's the same thing. There's going to be a shift. So you're going to feel different. You're going to like experience like an emotional shift, energetic, just everything will just be changing a little bit to kind of like move you away from that path that you're kind of, it's like there are strings connected to force. I mean, to force, to source that you're tied to. So when you break a contract, it's like one of those strings will like come off, you know, and then you'll just be like taken by another string. So it's just like you're just shifting. That's all.
Okay, shifting. Okay, got it. What was the floating city in the sky that appeared in China back in 2015?
It's another level of our planet. They are in the same dimension as us, however, they are hidden.
And what are these beings like?
They're actually really quiet. They kind of like, you know, they mind their own business. They're just kind of there to watch over. You know, I see them like peeking out a lot. They are definitely the idea that angels kind of live on clouds or whatever, like, you know, those like paintings of like angels peeking over clouds, stuff like that. It comes from that. However, they are not angels. They are guardians. And they are white light creatures. However, they don't necessarily come from the angelic world, so there's kind of like a misunderstanding there. But yeah, they're very calm. They basically a lot of their traits kind of go with what you would think an angel would have. So like even talking to them, like their voices sound very like sing-songy, and they're like little like bells and stuff like that. So it sounds like really like beautiful. It's like you know, like, nice like angelic energy, but they're not necessarily angel beings. They just kind of take care of the world in the sky, just as fairies are on Earth, taking care of, you know, doing their own thing. It's basically the same thing. They just kind of, instead of being completely interactive with our world as fairy beings are, they're just up in the sky, so they're just kind of watching over, looking down. They're more of observers, you know, they will kind of guide people when they need to. But it's just a lot of observation. It's a little bit kind of more, kind of around their own.
Nice. Okay. I'm actually just wondering, do you think Curtis can bring one of them in?
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe the being has a message for humanity?
Oh, interesting. All right. So he's actually telling me, his name is like, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's like Grenader, but it sounds better when he says it. I don't know. Grenader? Something like that, but it doesn't sound right when I say it.
Hi, Grenader. Thank you.
So he, they are kind of like, they are a sky form of angels. So they're an earth angel, just as fairies are, but they're kind of like they're the sky version. He's saying that they are, they basically will be assigned to a person once that person is born. So they are kind of like a guardian angel. However, he's saying that their role is more, it's less personal than a guardian angel's is. Sorry. And it's kind of more focused on paths. Their specialty is kind of like holding your hand and taking you through scary moments, or even like pointing out specific pathways that you should be taking if you're on the wrong path. However, they do it very submissively. They're not very, they're just kind of like, hey, if you want to take it, cool. If not, whatever.
Sorry, one second.
If you aren't listening, if there's a serious like issue happening, um, and you aren't listening to them, then take they will bring in other beings to help them.
Oh, okay. Sorry, come back, we're animals.
No worries.
I don't love my dog now. There's bugs, the dog's barking all over the place. Okay, thanks. I don't know what you just said during the last portion, but okay, I'm sure it was awesome. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. More out there. Okay, so is there a portal in Mount Shasta that leads to the ancient civilization Lemuria?
Yes, but it's not currently active. So if you were to go there, you couldn't just go. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a process that needs to happen in order to activate it. There is definitely, it's kind of like in a movie or something. If there's like, I don't know, some kind of like magical doorway, but it's like broken and you need to get all these tools in to like finally like open it. It's kind of like a similar deal. However, on top of that, you need to be worthy. There needs to be an inner purpose. That's kind of one of the things that would allow you to go through or to open it, is that you need an inner purpose that is worthy enough for you to go. You need to prove yourself.
Okay. So it's not for somebody that kind of just wants to go exploring and it's like, oh, I wonder if Lemuria is around the corner. Let me see. So it's not for that person. It'd be somebody that has maybe that wants to explore maybe their own inner truth and maybe the truth of our planet kind of thing. Okay. Okay. Cool. What is Bohemian Grove, and why do the most powerful men in the world gather there, including ex-presidents, and why are women not allowed?
It's an underground secret civilization, not civilization. It's like a secret group. Well, I guess it's an underground group. A lot of powerful people, are part of various secret groups, That's all it is. I'm not getting any more information just because it is very secretive, but it is a secret community.
Okay. So can we maybe have a hint? Can Curtis kind of grab a hint from them? Like a tiny, itty bitty hint? Tiny? Anything?
It's basically the goal of this secret organization is just essentially it's very much power based. It's based on power, and there's something that has to do with fear. I think it kind of has to do with facing like internal fears and stuff like that to just basically be in a position where you're essentially fearless, and capable of doing things. So I'm seeing a lot of like just kind of like testing fears and stuff like that. There is some sort of like book that they do follow. I don't know what it is, but I am seeing some kind of book. It's very serious. It's very like it's like when they go there, it's not just for like just to like hang out and have fun. They're very serious about it. Like you're there for a purpose, and you need to fulfill that purpose.
And so, with you saying this, we're not going to get in trouble by anyone, are we?
No, it's broad enough where
they're just going to be like, crazy. Whatever. Okay, so was Hitler killed in Germany? So, sorry, I didn't mean to switch gears like that quickly, but yeah.
No worries.
Was he killed? I don't know.
Because we talked about this before, Curtis is like, go, what do you remember? Go. I'm like, I don't know. I'm seeing a person next to him. that was there when he did die. I feel like it was, I don't feel like he fully committed suicide, you know? I feel like it was definitely in the hands of somebody else, but I don't feel like it was him. He knew, he knew it was coming, and he just kind of accepted it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He knew it was coming.
So if, like, somebody else were to poison him or something, he's aware of it, and he's kind of he just accepted it. You know?
Oh. Did he ask to be poisoned or to be killed in some way, or he just kind of knew this person was going to kill him?
I don't feel like he did. I feel like it was a close person to him that he knew had kind of, like, double-crossed him, you know? So he knew. Okay. He knew it was coming, and he said he didn't fight it.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to switch gears again. And, Curtis, can you tell us something mind-blowing that will be discovered or come into our existence in the next 50 years? Because we as a collective are kind of moving up in our spiritual awakening, they're leaving a lot of kind of hints of things that are not, basically we're seeing impossible by science in order to express the fact that there are things other than what we know. You know, what we know is not the rules. What we know is maybe our reality, but there's a lot more out there. A few years back, there was a swamp with this kind of like mold growing on the top of the surface that basically, or it was like a bacteria that didn't need oxygen, and it was actually fed on poison, which was something that science completely was like, no, that's not possible. So here's an example of an organism that doesn't need oxygen in order to like reproduce and stuff, and is like using this like toxic like whatever, you know. So it's kind of things like that will be coming up. I feel like there will be a plant that will be discovered that is also kind of similar. It doesn't need oxygen in order to. It doesn't need oxygen or something like that. There's some kind of like weird big science thing like that that's otherwise been seen impossible that will be discovered. And so will this plant help us out like medicinally, or is it just a plant?
It more has to do with just us furthering our awakening and us understanding that, you know, science, what we know science-wise is not necessarily everything. You know, there is a lot more that we don't know, and there are, basically, it's a sign pointing to, you know, there is life elsewhere. We're not the only beings here. You know, the universe is so big. Like, it's just to kind of, like, break out of this closed-mindedness that humans get stuck on a lot.
Nice. And I was going to ask if okay, well, I don't know if this is going to tie in at all, but and just so everyone knows, Curtis is actually a doctor, and coming from a medical perspective and spiritual perspective, do you see any medical advances coming up in the next 50 years that will greatly benefit humanity?
That will what?
That will greatly benefit humanity?
Oh. Yes, there's going to be a lot. I feel like there's like a hesitation I'm feeling. I feel like, you know, there's definitely going to be more, just, like, studies focusing on, like, trying to reach, like, immortality and stuff like that. Like, robotic things. There's just going to be a lot more of, like, that kind of stuff that kind of goes against the laws of source and stuff like that. So, in a sense, yes, there is, but there also will be a lot of, like, more kind of, like, detrimental, like, you know, things like that, that aren't really necessarily for the good of everybody. I don't know why there's so much hesitation here. It's, like, so heavy. Like, he just does not want to talk about it. I think because, you know, he comes from a time that was just very different. He doesn't like what we do. He's not
like what we do?
He's not in, well, like, with medicine wise, you know, the way that humans.
Okay, I was like, wait, what? This? We've been here from the beginning. Okay. Okay, so
yeah, he he doesn't. There's a lot that he doesn't agree with that will be happening. That's all. So for him, he doesn't know how to answer that question because in his opinion, it's not for the good of anything.
Okay. I know you don't want to answer, but I kind of have a question though.
Yeah.
Okay, so in regards to us trying to get immortal, does he mean by like combining like robotics with the human body to extend our life, or does he mean by finding a way to grab our own consciousness and maybe putting it into like a computer and having that live on forever?
I'm seeing the more favorable, kind of where there will end up being a little bit more focus on is moving our conscious being into like a robot or something, because it just would basically beat the effects of aging and not having to feel that stuff, you know. Um, However, it's definitely going to be unsuccessful. He's saying that it's a law that is not supposed to be broken, so it will not be broken.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, on that note, we'll go ahead and give this a close. And Amber, thank you so much for translating for Curtis, and of course your time and all of your effort, and for working while you're sick. So thank you so much.
No problem.
And Curtis, thank you as well. And everyone watching, thank you so much for watching. And please like and subscribe. And I'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
Bye.